Hello everybody, this is Felipe Alvarez. I'm the CEO of the Enlighten company, and today I will show how Nspace works for litigation in Brazil. So the first step that you have to do is click on Access Platform, and nowadays you have 3 languages that we support for Nspace translations. So here you're going to click in English. Also, you already have single sign-on functionality. You just click here and we'll connect to you according to your Microsoft business account. Here you have several workspaces. So basically we want to try the Brazilian litigation workspace. All this information that you see here on the left side of the screen, you're gonna see the litigation, which is Contencioso in Brazil, but you can translate according to your needs in your project. So basically, when you click here to new lawsuit and you select to register a new lawsuit, you have all this data that you have to fill all those informations here. Of course, because Nspace is a no-code software, you can define how many fields you may want in this part of the process, but also you can consult many times that you want, consider your hearings, your court decision reports, your payments, everything that you need in terms of litigation in Brazil, it's able to do in Nspace. Nspace provides directly in our software dashboards that you can follow all the information that you may have in litigation software as areas of law, the liability, contingency, probability of loss, the main requirements that the plaintiff or the defendant wants, provision, type of action, clause action, total of payments. Anyway, you can have all those informations inside Nspace. So Nspace, you don't need Power BI or anything like this, because we already have support into our software to build all these dashboards according to your fields. So what I try to suggest to our clients is, if you have fields and these fields are fully fulfilled, you probably will have a better understanding in terms of dashboard. Here's what you have in the folder of the software. So here's the ID, which is an alphanumeric information according to the security and business purposes for global IT systems. Here I have the full data. Also, you can find your tasks. Here you have your quick tasks and also your scheduled tasks. The main difference between scheduled tasks and quick tasks is scheduled tasks you can define according to your workflow, but quick tasks you can define directly here. So you can point some information or maybe direct to someone, share responsibility without being in a workflow so rigid. Also can integrate to your inbox email, which it's very powerful. So let's assume that you wanted to make some communication with the law office or something, or legal area wants to define some information with another areas or maybe to external parties. You can do this without jump to another software or jump to Outlook. You just can integrate your own email here, and you can define the recipient of this email. You can define template, subject. You also can provide AI features here to reveal, translate, summarize, keep writing, explain. Everything you want to do with AI, it's possible here in this version. You don't need to go to Outlook to write a simple email. And all emails that you may receive from this litigation process, you can, of course, attach here directly and automatically without, drag and drop informations or drag and drop files into the Nspace, which can, of course, save you some time in your daily basis. Here you can define a lot of features, as considering that you have some litigation fees that you may want to receive, you can register here. You can follow the lawsuit payment. Here you can define the hearings. You can automate for the people who are gonna participate defending your company. You can use this to automate workflows, to send them messages, to send them reminders and alerts. That's gonna follow here. It's gonna be something that you need to do. And I guess the most important part in the litigation in Brazil is how much this litigation will cost. So here is the folder when you can, of course, add the value of the cause, but not the cause as well, but also several requirements that that the party wants to require from a company, so you can create here. And we also have the judicial court instance, and also you can define the type of the requirements they may want to add. Also, you can define the monetary correction with support for several factors that we have here, including initial date and multiple periods, because in Brazil we have a lot of this kind of thing because the inflation. Interest, and you can also define in several currencies, not just Brazilian reais, but also US dollars or any kind of currency that you may want to define here, you can do as well. You can define, of course, the liability of the process, if it's probable, possible, remote, according to the SAC, United States, and also CVM from Brazil. The contingency and the provision. So you have all these features as well. Here you can define the judicial publication courts. You can receive here automatically because we have robots that capture these informations from the judicial courts and put here according to your needs. And also you can define the guarantee. So let's assume that in labor litigation you want to work with insurance. So you can define here several informations to put and register all this information here as well. So this is a basic glance of what Anyspace can do, but again, this is a version that we offer in a demonstration, but also because Anyspace is a no-code software, you can define according to your needs. So everything that you are seeing here is just a quick view of what Anyspace are capable to do, just to understand how visual it is, how friendly it is. We also have support for artificial intelligence, so you can define several things here. It's a Gen AI, so you can define not just to look for some information into Anyspace, but also communicate and interact with many AI in order to generate reports, to send an email to you, send reports, translate, and everything. Again, this is a just simple view just to understand the basics of Anyspace. If you have more information, I'd be more than happy to offer you a complete demo version and understand your pain points in order to advance this. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.